Indonesia. Indonesia is the 14th largest country as well as the largest archipelagic country in the world. With an area of 1,904,569 square kilometers, and a country with the 6th largest island in the world, with 17,504 islands. An alternative name commonly used to refer to the Indonesian archipelago is called Nusantara. Indonesia is also a country that was colonized by many European and Asian countries' abundant natural products, which has made European countries tempted to colonize and intend to control natural resources for income for their countries. In the 17th century, the Netherlands emerged as the strongest of the European countries, defeating Great Britain and Portugal, except for their colony, Portuguese Timor. The Dutch controlled Indonesia as a colony until World War II. During World War II, when the Netherlands was colonized by Germany, Japan controlled Indonesia. After acquiring Indonesia in 1942, the Japanese saw that the Indonesian fighters were cooperative trading partners and were willing to deploy troops if needed. Sukarno, Muhammad Hatta, K.H. Mas Mansur, and Ki Hajar Dewantara were awarded by the Emperor of Japan in 1943. One of the important figures in Indonesian history who will continue to be remembered for his services is Sukarno. Sukarno, or familiarly called Bung Karno, was born on June 6, 1901 in Surabaya, East Java. With his first name Kusno Sosrodoharjo, and died on June 21, 1970 in Jakarta. Bung Karno is the son of Raden Sokami Sosrodoharjo and Ida Ayu Nyoman Rai. Due to illness, little Sukarno was cared for by his older brother named Raden Harjodikoro in Tulungagung. Sukarno returned to live with his father and mother in 1909 in Mojokerto. Since living again with his parents, Sukarno changed his name from Kusno to Sukarno, so that he would not be sickly anymore and could grow up healthy. Since childhood, Sukarno has become an accomplished child, even able to master many languages. That is why Sukarno's intelligence is known to the world. In 1911, Sukarno moved again to ELS, which was equivalent to elementary school, SD, which was specially prepared to enter Hogura Burger School, HBS, in Surabaya. In 1915, Sukarno also finished school at ELS, and then lived at the house of his father's friend, Haji Omar Said Chokro Aminoto, or Hos Kokro Aminoto, who was the founder of the Islamic Union. Since then, Sukarno began to know the world of struggle, which finally made him really want to fight for the Indonesian people. Studying at HBS gave Sukarno a lot of experience and lessons, until finally graduating in 1921. After that, Sukarno moved back to his residence, namely to Bandung, and lived with Haji Sanusi to continue his education at the Teknisch Hoge School, THS, majoring in civil engineering. Known now as the ITB campus. It was there that Sukarno earned his engineering degree by graduating on May 25, 1926. During his lifetime, Sukarno had married a number of women, namely Fatmawati, Hartini, Ratna Sari Dwi, Kartini Manapo, Hariati, Uraik Sanger, and Heldi Jaffer. For this marriage, Sukarno was blessed with 11 children. Some of Sukarno's descendants eventually followed in their father's footsteps in Indonesian politics. Sukarno has even entered the world of politics since he was very young. Sukarno became famous for the first time in 1915 when he was a member of Jong Java Surabaya branch. Sukarno then founded Algemene Studi, ASC, in Bandung in 1926, which was the result of inspiration from Dr. Sotomo at Indonesia's study club. It was this ASC organization that became the forerunner to the establishment of a major party in Indonesia, the Indonesian National Party, which was born in 1927. Thanks to being active in the PNI organization, Sukarno was arrested by the Dutch because they were considered a danger to the colonial government. Sukarno was arrested in Yogyakarta to be transferred to Bensui prison in Bandung. Then in 1930 he was transferred to the Sukamiskin prison, and in this year also Sukarno issued a Pledoi Indonesia Sus, which was phenomenal at the time, until finally being released on December 31, 1931. After being released from prison, in 1932 Sukarno joined the Indonesian Party, Partindo, which was still because the PNI was disbanded and declared prohibited by the Dutch. However, his activities in Partindo again led to him being imprisoned in Fulder's exile in 1933, because the movement was dangerous for the Dutch. In 1938 Sukarno was then exiled to Bengkulu province until 1942. During the Japanese colonial period in 1942, Sukarno was released again. After a long journey, in 1943 the Prime Minister of Japan, Hideki Tojo, invited Sukarno, Muhammad Hatta, and Ki Bagos Hadakoasimo, who was then warmly welcomed by Emperor Hirohito. The three of them have been considered as the imperial family of Japan, by being awarded the Imperial Star, Holy Queen. Since the Japanese colonial period, many organizations emerged, such as Jawa Hokokai, PUPKI, Center for People's Power, Putera, to PPKI, with the main figures namely Sukarno, K.H. Mas Mansir, Ki Hajar Dewantara, and other figures who are active in national movement organizations. Finally, the figures of the national movement bought clenbuterol in collaboration with the Japanese government for Indonesian independence. Although there are still underground movements such as Amir Syarafudin and Sultan Syahrir who do not fully believe in Japan and consider it dangerous and fascist. During a long struggle Sukarno and Hatta finally proclaimed the independence of the Republic of Indonesia on August 17, 1945, which was urged by young people and was kidnapped to Rengastenclock. Since then Sukarno was appointed as the first president of Indonesia, and began to be known as the Proclaimer, who was accompanied by Muhammad Hatta as his deputy. Previously, on June 1, 1945, in the PUPKI session, Sukarno had put forward the idea of the basis of the state, namely Pancasila, which is still the basis of our country. After successfully formulating Pancasila, Sukarno tried to unite the archipelago into the unitary state of the Republic of Indonesia. Even the nations of Asia, Africa, and Latin America were also attempted by Sukarno at the 1955 Asian-African Conference in Bandung, until it eventually developed into the non-aligned movement, although there were also prolonged conflicts due to injustice in their country. That is why Sukarno is known for carrying out free and active politics in the international world. For the glory of his struggle for Indonesia, Ir Sukarno also experienced a period of downfall in his politics, after Vice President Muhammad Hatta finally decided to resign, and separated himself from Sukarno in 1956. Besides that, there were also many separatist rebellions that occurred in several areas in Indonesia. Based on historical records, the peak of the rebellion was when the rebellion known as the G30 occurred, which destroyed the Indonesian people at that time. Because of this incident, Sukarno was excommunicated from the president who succeeded him, namely Suharto. Because of his old age and often sickly, Sukarno finally died in Jakarta, Wisma Yeso to be precise, on June 21, 1970. Then his body was buried in Blitar and has become an icon of the city of Blitar to this day. That's the short story version of Story Soon, about the proclaimer of Indonesian independence. Hopefully it will be useful for all of us. Thanks.